Yeah, Simlang, right.
Okay, good morning. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk. Yeah, I saw something funny on Instagram yesterday. It's more like I don't know. It might not be. It's not even motion design normally. It's kind of let me try to share my screen. Shall I?
Good, right.
Okay. So it's actually Coca-Cola ad. I don't know if we've seen it.
Go ahead and share your screen. I most
Okay.
likely did not see it. Okay.
Just um, download. Should be here. Okay. Come in, please.
No problem. So you
Yeah.
said you've seen it. So. Okay. Um, well, so. Ah. I knew it. I knew once I say people should show me something, you're gonna show me the highest of them all. Wow. From picture to picture. Um, okay, so I would say this is more of a videographer's um kind of project, such that they would have this one does not. Okay, so as a motion designer, this is not one of those things where you might be required to work on, for the next maybe 10 years of your career. So even if you knew how to do something like that today, you might not necessarily, or even if you're taught to do something like that, so you might not necessarily be able to practice it or earn from it right away. That work is one of those works that are created by maybe a team of like 10, 20 people. They will do shoots, they will do what's it called? They will do like lots of takes and all that, like a normal movie. Do you get? So but then again, if you want to do something like that, you would want to search for on YouTube um um what's it called? There's tracking involved, and then there's I'm sure, let me just check. Let me just check. Painting on the mm, mm, oh, let me share my screen. So there is something like this wall painting eye animation, or if you just search for painting on a wall, move After Effects. It involves tracking, it involves actual videography, like you would have to go there and video this. You cannot stay at home and get it done. But yeah, it's not one of those things where you would immediately be asked to, like, what I mean is, if you go and check on social media for like Nigerian brands or some American brands that would likely hire you, it is not one of those things that you will likely be asked to do. But you will spend a lot of hours learning it, only for you to see that people are not asking you to do it. Do you get?
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah. So, but if you wanted to, there's several wall painting animations that you can probably learn how to do. like all of these examples I've shown on the screen right now. All right, so I did DG sample. Is it the same thing that you have? Something different. Okay. Oh, okay. I've been seeing this one. The person who did this one explained how they did it, so to speak. Using what is it called? Z camera, okay, just like you working with 3D cameras or 3D layers. So I'm going to open something similar to that, but the name of the thing is let me see. Z direction or Z axis in After Effects. So you would see it a lot when it comes if you were talking about cameras in After Effects, Z rotation. What page are you on? What's this page you're on? This is YouTube. This was Twitter and this was Instagram. But this particular person, there's something if you see the tutorial that this person is posting here, and then if you see the explanation here, it is talking about using Z axis in your animation. Oh, the page. If you check above you, you'd see the link that was sent into the group. So from Twitter, I clicked on Twitter, yeah, and then in the first comment under it, I saw the link. I've seen this before on Instagram, on Twitter rather. But see, one thing I need you guys to understand is the motion design space is shared between Nigerians or upcoming guys and guys that have been in the game for like several years. So the things that are important to guys that have been in the game for several years, aesthetic stuff, things that they doesn't necessarily give them money, or it's just someone that can do it for cruise. But if you spend your time wanting to know what all these bigger guys or all these Americans generally like to do a lot of abstract stuff that if you were to show me a portfolio and you're showing me stuff like this, I don't think giving you a job is what you need. Probably you just want to chill and stuff like that. So I would look into, as much as there's so many stuff online that you can learn and so much stuff that you can learn, what's it called? You can post on your social media and stuff. I will look into stuff that companies are using, are posting. Yeah. The reason is, as a company owner, as a CEO or as a brand owner, you're trying to generate money for your company. And the UI designer in your company is his own job is to design the look and feel of the product that the company is sharing. The sales guys, their job is to market it, talk to people one-on-one to sell the idea or sell the company. The finance guys, they have what they are doing. The motion design guys, what are they doing in that company? Yeah, what is their role in that company? Most of it is to advertise the company, to create ads that push maybe a new product in the company or a new idea or a new brand or a new, you know, that is your major. That's what generates money for the company. Someone sees the advert, signs up to work with the company. Someone sees the advert on the billboard or on the social media and then signs up. So in my portfolio or if in your portfolio I'm able to identify that this particular person knows how to sell my company using animation, I would be looking to hire that person. Do you get? So if you check on, let me check on, let's say something like bamboo, for example. Something like, let me read. So the idea for this page is Bamboo just launched a new app. As a motion designer, you have to create an advert that will push into the public the idea or get excited about the new app that they just launched. So you have to do the video like this. Yeah. Something like this, like each page shows some information about the app as it goes. So now if you dedicate your next um if you dedicate your next week saying, oh, how did they do this animation, how can I do this animation, how do I recreate this animation and stuff, if I'm coming to just by doing this single animation here, you would land several normal upcoming guys, upcoming companies. You will land several CEOs messaging you in your DMs, asking you to come and do same video for them. You will land several what's it called, UI designers saying that their company needs someone like you to work for them, on and on and on. So while the other type of animation that you guys are sharing is nice and creative, it is not necessarily monetizable. It's not necessarily, you might know it and then you might still be looking for money. You might still be what's it called? Looking for who is going to go and pay you for that experience or that thing that you know. While things like this, if you're able to create adverts that push the company, you're able to create adverts that the, let's say the company is launching something new, you're able to create ads that push that thing, then trust me, you'll be getting more messages and more calls and more interest coming your way, as opposed to just being just doing creative stuff. Like I've seen some really abstract stuff. Um they're nice, but when I check your portfolio, all I'll see is just fancy looking stuff. If you've already passed that level, if you're already a big guy, no problem, you can be doing stuff like that. Well, but if you are aiming to be useful to a company or to a brand or to an organization, you have to think about, what am I doing that will help this brand make money? Now, that's what is inside the head of the person that wants to hire you. Is this thing going to make money? It's fancy, it looks nice, and is this thing going to make money? If by watching this video, 900 people that like it on Instagram are ready to pick up their own pay stack, um, what is it called? Paystack terminal. That is a huge boost for the sales team and for the finance team and all of those areas. If they post it on Facebook, on what's it called, Instagram, Twitter, and they get leads from there, you are really pushing the brand. You are very valuable to your company. So you're constantly cracking your head. How do I create ads that sell my company? How do I create ads that is, if you see something else in another company, you're looking for, how do I create a version of this? If you are jobless, if you don't have any work, you don't know what to do, yeah, it will make more sense for you to spend time into developing skills that and developing animations alone, that by the time someone goes through your page, they're able to see that, I need to hire this guy because he knows what he's supposed to do to be able to help my company make more money. Do you get? I was going to say Adedeji Samuel should ask me his question, but it seems he's gone offline. So that is usually what I'm thinking of when I'm creating my animations. Yeah. I don't I know that there are several motion designers that exist in Nigeria, and many of them have this. Okay, let me just do what is trending and let me just do what is neat and nice. Yeah. And I know these are all old works, but then again, and let me just do what is trending, let me do what is nice. And then you start to do like really random animations here and there. If it's not any money for your company you're working for, if it is not looking like, oh, I want him to do something like this for me, my own company, then trust me, you would hardly see anybody calling you or asking you to work for them or do projects for them, because nobody sees value in you're just animating for the sake of animating. Yeah. Always be thinking of how is this animation earning money for this company? If you can notice that, then to be an easy thing for you to what's it called, that will guide you in terms of what type of animation you would make. Especially some people, let's say they don't have a gig right now, you don't have a job right now. Let's say you are what's it called, you are bored, nothing, no money is not coming in, financially you're not making that much money, and at the same time you're not um I'm coming at the same time nobody's calling you to do projects for them, right? Instead of you to just chill and be waiting for let them give you a project before you now start what's it called, before you now start finding stuff to do, you can take on individual projects by yourself, right? Now, um, several several of these companies, they they would look at your previous works, and all of the companies I'm mentioning, yeah, they are few that are profitable. So think about it like this. Um, there are several industries that make up the world. There is the healthcare industry, there's the food industry, there is the all the industries, there are many. Yeah. One of the industries that right now seem to be really making it and seem to be in everybody's face is the finance industry. Yeah. Um One of the industries that are also making it is the tech industry. The mixture of both is the fintech industry. Yeah. So if you are bored, if you are not getting projects, if you're not getting money as a motion designer, if you decide to take on fintech projects, fintech brands, fintech animations, and you're able to deliver on them, trust me, you'll be getting projects from fintech guys as well as non-fintech guys, people that are outside. Nowadays, everything you see online is more UI, UX, product design, and all of that. And somebody will be like, someone I just started yesterday will be like, oh, he's going to the US tomorrow. He got one international job, on and on like that. Most of what I've seen in my own experience is if you're able to focus on one area, which is UI, UX, you're able to animate UI, UX, you're able to bring some sort of life into what is it called, something that would otherwise have been a static screenshot. Yeah, just being able to do like an animation that looks like this, that is just what is it called, 3D UI. Basically, you are much closer to getting not just Nigerian gigs. Forget even Nigerian gigs. You're much more closer to getting American gigs, because very few Americans can actually do, you know, UI and UI animations like this. Yeah, you don't need to do, because I've seen some motion design projects. There's so many keyframes, so many layers. You see the what's it called? The thing is spinning, comes down, scatters the whole place. All of that. Yeah, it's nice. But I can tell you that product designers do less job, not really less job, but they do less gra and still make a lot of money. Yeah, because the audience are not even Nigerians. The audience are more Americans. They are the ones that make good money. The audience are more people that want their UI designs to be, clean, neat, quiet, nothing too not too much colors and anything like that. So also animations that Nigerians that sell animations or do animations for brands abroad, they're not doing gra too much. They just do simple animations, simple product designs. I don't know if there are good examples on this page, but simple stuff that what is it called? Are easily monetized. If you go to Dribble, if I go to Dribble right now, I click on explore design work and I click on animation. See all these animations that are here. They are not necessarily too dramatic. As simple and as quiet as they are, lots and lots of um gigs and projects. I can't tell you how many projects I've gotten just by doing small UI animations, because all companies, brands, fintechs, all of them, most of them are using tech, using apps, using websites, launching a product. That is all they do. That is almost all the companies. That's all they do. Those ones that have money though to pay you. That's all they do. I know that you could also be doing, like, as a motion designer, you could also be doing listen, flyer, poster animation. Yeah, you could also be making all these posters and stuff. But trust me, the most of the money is in the UI design and the UI animation. Most of the money is in doing this stuff than it is in doing flyer for Wizkid and Davido, so that Davido will see it and retweet it, so that yourself you see small or something. You just end up into the hands of other what's it called, event promoters that are looking to take advantage of someone. But if I should check your page, those pages of the ads were created in different comp. How did they made it to a single render file? Okay, we'll go into that. But if I should check your page and I'm seeing more of these what is it called? UI design is easy to get. Either you get it from for free on some pages, or you collaborate with some of your friends to be able to get UI animations. But then again, UI animation is something you can easily source, right? There's so many people dropping free UI designs every day, and they will really appreciate it if someone can animate it for them. So if you are looking for how to practice what you've learned, yeah, be looking to practice it towards being of use to a company, being useful to a company. Yeah. Okay. And okay, okay, Lady Bamba, I'm coming to it. All right. So look at it towards being useful to a company. That's one. Then two, um, look at how you can use collaboration to your benefit. So me, for example, let's say I'm posting my animations alone in my own little world. Someone is posting your animations in his own little world. He's probably even getting more views and more likes than me. He's doing less work. He will just screenshot his screen, and then everybody is like, wow, they're bedazzled, whatever it is. So instead of you to be in your own little world where it is just you creating your own animations or creating your own screen, learn to enter into their own world and learn to collaborate with them, such that you can take on a project that they were just going to just post one screen. There's one guy, I saw his project, people were retweeting it like mad. I went into his DMs. I said, okay, I'd like to animate this stuff with you. And We didn't eventually do that one, but he was now following. He was now seeing more of what I was doing. He was now retreating some of what I was doing. It did not take long before he said, "Oh, my company needs a motion designer," and then I recommended you. I did the job. I got paid for it. And other ones that came through it. Now there are other people too that I collaborated with, and I put their work out there, and everybody was like blown away by the collaboration and stuff. It is going into his audience. His audience are flowing into my own side. People are requesting for my contact from seeing what I did for the guy. This could have just been me sitting there in one corner, just focusing on my own animations and saying that nobody deserves my time and my energy, not knowing that I could easily have gained so much from collaborating. So one is to look at the focus on the industries that are earning so much money, which in my own case is the fintech industries and brands and all of those things. And then two, look into let me open this listen. Um and two, look into collaboration. That's one of the ways in which your voice can be amplified and more people can get to hear get to see your work and stuff. Don't just sit down and focus on yourself alone and say that, okay, I'm not going to I'm just going to be putting out nice works and stuff. No, look towards creating stuff for fintechs. Your mind should just be thinking about fintechs all the time. By fintech, I'm also referring to something like bamboo, what's it called? No, not just what's the name? Binance, crypto, yeah, crypto brands. Those are also fintech brands, and on and on and on. You can do a research on fintech brands, and then you can now look into creating animations for them. And also, if you also see um if you also see what's it called if you also see your fellow UI UX designer creating um creating UI designs online and is getting steam, is getting interest from people, then you should most likely enter into his DMs and say, "Hi, I would love to collaborate with you." Let your page be full of very nice UI designs and animations, because those are the guys that everybody on a good day, even if you are working in a company where um even if you're working in a company where you know that the company has an app, but the app is not being animated, it's not now you go, it is you, sorry, it is you that will go and meet your boss, your marketing boss, and be like, "Sir, there's one guy online that we're seeing his works. He's posting really nice animations. He can take our app and do something crazy with it. He can take our website and do something crazy with it. He can create animations that will blow people's minds away." Do you get? That is the kind of, if your page is full of that, if your page is full of, as you can see, this guy's page just full of these corporate animations. Trust me, this guy is getting animations. Sorry, getting projects from people abroad to deliver. All this, listen, they are useful to Nigerians. They are more useful to Americans. Do you get? It is not when your page is full of, I don't know whose page I'll use as an example. No, your page is full of party, your own pictures, your own what is it called? You went to meet your girlfriend the other day and you guys took nice pictures and stuff. How does that help anybody? Anyways, um you get what I mean. Like, you fill your page with stuff that can earn a company money, such that it will not be difficult to what is it called? It will not be difficult to tell that this guy is good. This guy can produce money for my company. All right. So major our major talk today is actually centered on this question that was asked. Yeah. So let me. Our major question is centered on this question I was asked: how do I combine different compositions and put it into one major composition? I created this video that is currently playing, and honestly, yeah, it took days. It took days to create, such that I cannot. It is impossible to explain in this class, in this call that we are on now, how to do it, like practically how to do it in just this call. That's why I know that whatever I want to teach in line with this now, I'm about to say now, takes hours, to get done. Takes stages, small stages. But all the same, we'll find a way around it. Yeah. So um let me let me okay. So let me talk about how several of these compositions are being done, and um kind of explain how I would have how I did it. Let me open another one, because this one, I don't remember if there's an NDA on this one, so that I will not come and share files that will cause problem tomorrow. Okay, let me use this one as an example. So let's go into After Effects. Mhm. Um, Effects login. What's that? All right, new projects. Let me just open this up. So I've been good to use UBA. Then I'm good to use the UBA projects. But anyways, let me use. So there are two things I would like to explain today. My only problem now is hoping that you guys will be able to understand and do them. So one is element 3D, and the second one is mixing compositions. So element 3D is a 3D application. Anyway, I want to be sure that you guys are hearing me. So I need some confirmation that you guys are still with me.
I can hear you.
So all right,
Okay.
and 2 people, 3 people.
Someone is saying on Discord that is trying to join. I don't know who can admit him.
Huh?
Someone is saying on Discord that is trying to join, but nobody's admitting him.
Well, I think the people that are in charge are not in the call right now. Someone would admit, I think Moshood is here. Someone would work on that. All right. So there is Element 3D, a 3D application that allows you to manage 3D in your scenes. So this phone that you see here is a 3D phone. Yeah. I know that last time we spoke, we talked about um using templates, putting your screens in template. But then if that template is not doing what you want, if that template is not flying around and spinning the way you want, then you should be able to, as a motion designer, create your own type of template such that you can turn the screen and you can face it in the direction that you want. So something that looks like this 3D screen and everything here was done using Element 3D. This chairs, the 3D in these chairs were Element 3D chairs, yeah. The shoe, Element 3D, this phone, Element 3D. I'm not even responding to comments. All right, this man walking, Element 3D. Yeah. So Element 3D is like the bridge between. Can it be done in Cinema 4D? Yes, can be done in Cinema 4D in After Effects. I am mentioning how I did it, but if you have a different way of doing it, you can also still use that way to do it too. You know, sometimes there's like 4 or 5 different methods of doing the same thing, but yeah, and 4 or 5 different methods of doing the same thing. But then in my own case, I'm mentioning how I did it. So Element 3D plugin is one of the things that we need to talk about. And then second thing we need to talk about is how do I mix compositions and make it what is it called? Make it like transition from one composition to the other composition on and on until I've gotten, say, a 1 minute animation. Yeah. So let's see. We have 1 hour. Talk about it. All right. So let me element 3D and sometimes it depends on the kind of system that depends on the kind of system you're working with. Yeah. That's when you would know. That's when you would know if this would work on your system or not. But you can easily find out how to get the file and simply download it. Yeah, the installation is simple and straightforward. Alternatively, you can message me on Discord and find out how to get the file, any of the two, and I would provide it for you. All right. So let me see. So this is how Element 3D looks. It's showing me that I have an issue with my graphics card, so I'm hoping that this is not going to give me drama today. but let me scale this up. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. Let me, I don't know if you can see this big iPhone that is showing on the screen. Yeah. But this element 3D allows you to have 3D layers, 3D if I should open here and I look for helmets, see these helmets that is brought in here. I can, where is it? I can rotate the helmet. I can make the helmet big. I can spin it around. So imagine you are getting keyframes for these things. Yeah. And you're able to spin a phone around, allow it to reveal certain screens at a certain time. That is how this element 3D works. So if you're able to set it up in your system, you are very close to having this animation that you have, that I used it for, these animations I used before. So I'm going to, I don't know if you can see it. Let me allow this zoom back. I don't know if you can see it, but there is this helmet here, and then you can, using the keyframes that exist, you can spin, you know. So if I animate something in Cinema 4D, I can import it into After Effects using Element 3D. This allows me to change the direction the thing is facing, allows me to change the lighting on the thing, and a whole lot more. Yeah. So you could do it destructively, where you create something on Blender or After Effects, Blender or Cinema 4D, and you import it so that you don't have any control over it. Yeah. Or you can do it this way, where you do something in Cinema 4D or Blender, export it and import it into After Effects using Element 3D. Yeah, but this Element 3D helps me manage 3D layers, 3D effects. So I'm just going to jump into this project file that I already have. This one, where is it? I'm just going to jump into this project file, and then I will explain as we go. I hope that's okay with everyone.
Yes, yes.
Well, let me just search for Binance. Okay. Give me a second. And all right. So so I'm going to assume some things. I mean, All right. So this particular project for today started with um started in Photoshop. Let me open the Photoshop file. So I'll explain to you how one page led to the other, on and on. Okay. So let's take this page for example. This is the starting page. Now you let's say you as a person you want to do this animation. Yeah. Now you can agree with me that there is a certain number of compositions in this project. Yeah. So the first one that is in this project is um this place. It could be your first one. Or you could say this is the first one, how to buy Bitcoin. That is major, that's a major screen here. Now, one of the things I need you guys to remember is this is something that can bring um this is something that can bring, what's the word, people signing up to work, people signing up to use this app for the company. This is one of the things that can bring value for the company. Do you get? So I mean, um if you see a project like this and you recreate something that looks like this, it's better, right? Than you just creating any random animation. All right. So this is how to buy Bitcoin using Binance app. This could be, how to do using Payday. Payday is currently trending in the social media spaces, in Twitter and the rest, because you can buy Starlink using Payday. Yeah, I'm giving you an idea what you can use. You can take this project and recreate for. So you could say how to buy Starlink using Payday. Trust me, drop a video like that, you would get hits because everybody's talking about everyone's talking about how other cards are not working. Meanwhile, your your Payday cards are working. All right. So how to buy Bitcoin using Binance. So if I use my screenshots app, I can screenshot just this place. Yeah, this is the screen I need. I'll Control C to copy it. Then I'll go to my Photoshop and create a new Photoshop file. I can tell what the dimensions are. I'll just say they are 1080 by 1080. It. I'll paste. So you have this screenshot here. Does anybody have an issue with what I just did? I just need one person to say no. Does anybody have an issue with what I just did?
No, not at all.
All right, cool. So the next thing is, let me get the text to write here, how to buy Bitcoin. So I'll just copy this and paste it. The reason why I'm copying from my previous project is so that we'll not waste any time. I believe that everybody should know how to copy, how to write text. Then I can look for an iPhone mockup, TNG, any of these guys. The reason why I am designing it here is so that I want you to design it in After Effects. Okay, So this design I'm doing here is not as if I'm just doing it to waste time. It is so that I will not need to go to After Effects and then start designing it from scratch. So we have our phone model here. Then we also have a banner here that is yellow. And lastly, let me take it from here. We have our Binance logo. Just paste it here. Down here. Let me get rid of the screenshots. So also we have a screen here. Let me see what the first screen is supposed to be. Right, so whatever. Let me just use this screen. Let me just use the screen here as a placeholder. Give me a second. Anyways, let me. Okay. It and carry this into this place. Right. Let's dock this into the screen like this. Make sure that. So another thing to note is if the design doesn't make sense, the animation is not going to make any sense. So if it's not looking fine here in the design stage, there's no point sending it to me and asking me if it looks fine. If it not look fine to you, it will not be looking fine to me either. So let me just adjust this and then bring this down. We also let me just make sure that this thing is neat. So I have prepared a composition. Yeah, this is one composition. Now, this composition, after it stays on for a while, I want you guys to notice after it stays on for a while, another text shows up here. Click buy. We can run that one. Next thing, this phone happens. This is element 3D that is happening here. We can do that one, or we'll soon do that one. The next thing we are seeing here is select BTC. So this is a separate composition. This is composition 2. Yeah. So in my example here, this is composition 2, review and confirm. Yeah. Select BTC, specify the amount deposited, review and confirm. So that's 2. That's 2 compositions. Then the third composition is this one, where it shows the ending page, Binance, buy Bitcoin, and other coins in minutes, blah, blah, blah. And that's what we call the end, this end scene, where you have this line here, the phone here, this Binance, everything is here. And I can turn this off. There should be a phone here, right? So in a way, this Binance app PSD is the PSD that you need to start your project. So in in this project that you have here, everything is in a different composition, right? It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of work, but this QSL is a single composition. This next one is a single composition. This one too, on and on like that. Did I design all the layers first before bringing them to After Effects? Yes, I did. The brand I was working with, or the people I was working with, they were the one that created the icons and everything. I can animate the icons, yeah, but I prepared them in a 1080 by 1920, this screen size. I prepared them in this screen size for each of the things that are going to. So that picture frame that you just saw just now, created as a design first before taking it to the After Effects to animate. Well, there's a lot of, so this screen, for example, that I just showed now that has all those things, it was also designed in Photoshop first. Or if you're a Figma person, design in Figma. Some parts are pictures showing up, some parts are animated. This carousel picture of this carousel picture on this shirt is a 3D from Element 3D. Yeah, all of this one's Element 3D. This is a design that was done in Photoshop. When I take it into After Effects, I know that my task is to allow this bar go up, this one come down, go up, come down, on and on like that. And there's a way to transition into the listen. So all these screens, they were all designed first before animated and before animating it. So that's why we are starting with something simple today. And I will what's it called? It would ease into the harder stuff at some point in our lives. All right. So I'm going to close all these guys. Close all this. Yeah, because we already have the one that we'll use. So our main objective is one, Element 3D. Two, how do I blend from one what's it called? How do I blend from one composition to another? As you can see, there are three compositions here. 1, 2, 3. So we already know that it's going to start with the beginning one here. Then we're going to move to the middle one here, separate design, and then we're going to move to the third one. So simply by spreading it across your timeline, I can already see how this will turn into 3 separate animations or 3 separate compositions that will eventually be put together to form one animation. So just start with beginners app starting screen. So if I give you this file, just know that's where the starting screen is. So let's close all these guys. And let's also take all these guys and put them in a folder. So let me show you what has already been done. Right. Just give me a second. Okay. So let's open our dancing screen. We import it into After Effects. Yes. Okay. And if I double click it, we have our 3 screens: begin, middle, and end. So based on this, if I want begin to start first. So whichever layer is on top is the one that's going to show up above the other ones. So I'll put begin at the bottom, middle in the middle, and at the top. Then I would now drag it out. Let's say this is a 15 seconds animation. It means that end will be, let's say, after 10 seconds. Middle will be after 5 seconds. Something that looks like this. So you would have begin, play first. Yeah. After begin does its craziness, then middle will play next. After middle does its craziness, then end will play last. Right? This is just a mixture of 3 compositions. So if you check this one that I have here, as you can see, you have begin, middle, and end. The beginning animation, let me just fix this. The beginning animation looks like this. The middle animation looks like this. There's a phone here, by the way, but then I've not put it back. I've not put it in. And then the last animation looks like this. So now what I want to ask you guys is there anything, let me turn this sound off. Is there anything in this animation that is here? Because we want to talk about the 3D part, but there's anything about this 2D animation that you would find to be difficult. I'm allowing the 2D animation to play first. Is there anything in this 2D animation that you might find to be difficult? Let me know. I'm waiting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, none. So I want to assume that if we were to do this, click buy, select BTC, so specify the amount, review and confirm, and this, if you were to do all of this, you will not have any issue whatsoever, right?
Yes.
All right. Right. I hope that's the same answer that everybody is giving you. All right. So now our difficult part should be, how do I infuse 3D into this thing without using pre-recorded templates? Because pre-recorded templates are cool, but not all of them can bend or twist or whatever the way you want it to, right? So that is one of the issues with using pre-recorded templates. I want something that can easily, what's it called, move around. I can easily manipulate and put my screen inside. So that is where element 3D comes in. Now let's go back here. Let's go to share. So we need a phone. Yeah, we need a 3D phone. So let's search for iPhone. I'm not looking for iPhone that doesn't have plugin. We're looking for iPhone that uses plugin, specifically Element 3D plugin. So regardless of how tempting these phones look here, not all of them can be used. Same thing with any other. If you see any 3D thing that you're trying to create, if you want to have control over it, you should see element 3D in the title. If you don't want to have any control over it, you can just pick any of these guys that are showing here. So let me even see this one. This one does not use element 3D, but I want to see if it would have had the screens we are looking for. So we're looking for a screen that stands straight like this. We're also looking for a screen that would spin in front of you. Let me see if anyone. Nah. Nope. This one just puts head from up. Nah. Nope. No. All right. So let's just go down. Now, if the thing uses element 3D, yeah, it will mean that they don't need to have pre-recorded scenes. So if you check and you see the file size to be huge, 675, 900, 2.79 gig, and the rest 1 gig, you know that these are pre-recorded scenes, and as such, they are not going to work for what you want to do if you are working with element 3D. So I can already tell that this is too much. This is too much. It doesn't use element 3D. I'll just keep going until I see one. This is right. We've seen one. This one says Apple Phone Promo Element 3D plugin, 6 MB. So let's grab that. You can see the huge difference between 6 MB size and 2.99500 gig or whatever the shit is. All right, so we can still look further to just to be sure that there is no. Right, I think this one. So there's a good number of Element 3D iPhones online, and some of them have issues. Some of them should work fine. So here is another one, 4 MB. You can imagine. So I think that is enough. This one too is one. It was time I saw iPhone 14. So you already know why we're not choosing some other types, simply because not everything can be customized. All right, so let's see this one first. So this is the phone you get from it. Inside your screens, blah blah blah. Uses element 3D. This is another one, and it's just there. Actually, let me just cancel that. I don't like it. And then I think this one is so there are templates that I myself use for this particular lesson, but then let's work with this one. So if I see what I like, I can just download it. and then you can download here. And then put it in our file. Then I manage that. Right. So here's the thing that we just downloaded. Phone app, mobile presentation, whatever. Elements 3D phone. So let's double click. Can delete all of this. Extract here. And delete this. So inside here, you would see devices. There is an iPhone 12 projects, iPhone 12 Pro Max OBJ. OBJ is like object 3D files. So this is the 3D file that comes with this project. Then if I go back here, I see footages. This image is the image that we'll put in the screens. Then finally, you have the project file here. So this project file, I can import it just by dragging it into here. So I'll do just that. So I'll take the next 10 minutes explaining to everyone what is going on. So whenever you download an Element 3D file, one thing that is sure to happen is you need to reconnect it to its original, to its 3D model. You need to reconnect it. So let's say scene 1, for example. Let me show you what scene 1 is. This is how scene 1 looks like. This thing that is here, this thing that you're seeing here is what is currently happening here, just without the phone. Yeah. So scene 2 is this. And if you check here, after this plays, is our scene 2 modular structure well organizes here. This one is missing the phone. So where is the phone? So let's go to scene 1 and open it. So inside here, again, with templates downloaded from the internet, you always have this shy layer here. Normal. It is hiding things, but we'll keep it hidden. See this with the right phone 12. That is where your element 3D is. So most times if you want to create an element 3D file, you usually create a new solid. So most element 3D files are always in this solid here. So to access it, you go after clicking it, you just go to your effects because it's an effect. And then you can see elements here. So I just click scene setup. This is after you've installed Element 3D and it is working on your system. I'll just click scene setup, and right now, let's wait for it to show it. So nothing is showing currently, and this is showing red. Yeah. So my job now is to relink the 3D model, that 3D model I showed you first. So I just come here and do relink scene files, and then I need to locate the phone. So I can, if you're the one, if you're the one here, you should be able to understand what is going on, because it's asking you where they should look for the file, the 3D phone. So I'll just come to this Element 3D phone here, the one that we downloaded, and I'll say select folder. So it should search that folder. The link I just dropped is here. So if I click locate, it will locate it to find it, and then I'll just press OK. So that thing that was once red before should now be normal, white. And our phone should be showing as planned. So here's our phone. Here's our 3D phone. Yeah. It is reacting to environmental lights. If I turn on the environment, you see it. Lights from front, side, and all sorts of places are affecting it. Where's that thing? Environment. So you have you have your phone here. All I did to get this phone was download the 3D file and also relink the 3D file. That's all. I know it looks like a lot, but it's not that much. So if I press OK, after I give this a while, the phone should show up. So I'm going to put this on quarter because my system. So yeah, the thing is with Element 3D, you're not the original people that came up with 3D. The idea was not to use After Effects to do it. It's just that this allows us control over 3D objects. Initially, this is supposed to be done in Blender, and then from Blender or Cinema 4D, then imported into After Effects. But that seems like if I should start teaching that, nobody will listen again. Everybody just go home and start sleeping. Well, everybody's already at home, but everybody just start sleeping at home. I know some people are already sleeping like this. So now imagine if I now go all the way to Cinema 4D, then come back into. So, anyways, this allows us to manage 3D inside what is it called? Inside After Effects. So if I want to come back here, and if I want to link this file, if I want to show the 3D phone here, I'll come to phone 12, I'll come to scene setup as fast as possible, and I would click, just wait, just to sure. File, relinks in files, and it's already saved that link that I clicked last time. So all I'm clicking is OK, and after a while the phone should show. Cool. So whenever you download your 3D model, whichever one you are using from where I said you guys should download it from, all that will be left is just to relink it, and it should show. So now our next interest is, how do I control this phone? So we're looking for one that's I want to look through the different phones and see the one that I would likely use. Just wait, just give me a second. as you can see, there are some actions that we might use that have already been done. We just need to customize a couple of things there. But let me just okay. Apparently there's nothing so fantastic going on here. All right. So now, how do we control this phone? Yeah. When it comes to what is on the screen of the phone, this phone mockup, you can see this image 01 here. This image 01 here refers to what is on the phone. So if I double click it, it will show me this phone mockup, this one. If I take my Binance screen, anyone. If I should take my screen and let me find one screen to put inside. This, yeah. This is where we were. If I should put any screen inside, it will automatically show that screen inside the phone. Let me make this in phone. Even though it's not showing clearly, I'll still explain how to show it clearly. But if I put inside here, if I put red box like this, I'm sorry, red screen like this. If I come to scene 1, it will show inside on and on like that. So this thing that we are seeing here is apart from the phone, which this phone 12 controls the element 3D phone. Yeah, this image 01 controls what is on that screen. This text 01 controls the text showing on the screen. I can turn it off. This logo controls the logo. And if I should unlink this background controls the background. Yeah. So I don't want anything else. I just want the phone to be the only thing showing on the screen. So you can turn off the other things. That is they're not useful. So what we want is just this phone showing up on screen. Yeah. Does anybody have any problem with where we are right now? Or has it become too complicated already? Because it's about to become more complicated. I'm just asking. I am waiting for someone to tell me if I should continue or if your brain has been filled up already. We shall wait.
You can continue. For me, I will just the steps actually getting a lot. But something that be watching. I'll be able to like track my way back and start.
Okay. All right. So honestly, yeah, for someone like me, after doing this the first, second, third time, I already have a particular phone model I use all the time. I already have, so I will not need to set up all of this. I'll just, I'm explaining to you in a way at which you can always go to the source and download it and create what I've created. But I could also give you one where I already removed everything on the screen. All you are doing is just putting your phone, which is more or less like a template, but it will not help you because because you'll not be able to create it by yourself. Yeah. So anyways, if you download any what's it called? If you download any templates, like all of these guys, yeah, and you download any templates, like all of these guys, and you're able to relink the file, you should have something that looks like this, like the phone that is currently showing up here. Everything in this place, this element 3D affects the phone. So I can decide to edit, make it less, make it with all this light showing on the screen. I can reduce the effects on the screen and a whole lot of other stuff. So the only thing I will need to do now is, this screen is not looking too bright for me. Like I can see the thing that's on the screen, but it's not showing clearly. So let me look into solving that problem. I think the phone model I used, let me see if I'll see it, phone 12. I think the phone model I used for this project is not this one that I'm currently using. So there's even a iPhone 14 here. Because of that, it's looking a bit too overly bright. But I think it was this, yes, this phone. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but this screen seems a bit more clearer compared to this screen. See how the light around it is affecting it so much compared to this screen where the person has already fixed the look. So we're going to switch the screens that we're using right now. So give me a second. So this is a phone screen we want to use now. Phone 12. As you can see, the screens are much clearer compared. Screens are much clearer compared to the other one. I think this one too is the same thing. Let me see. The screens here too seem to be clear. I'm wondering if I should just give this one a chance. So let's give this one a chance. Let's see if I know the exact screen I used last time, but then let's check out iPhone 14 to see if it is any better. Let's drop it here. But when I do this process the second time, you should be familiar with it. Elements 3D iPhone 14. I download. It shouldn't take any time. Right. Right, that's downloaded. Press OK. Let's leave this guy for now because I would want to use one that the screen is already close to being okay. Because by the time I start tweaking so many things, now go tell me say I'll stop. All right. So all of this is just an attempt to get a all of this is just an attempt to get a good working iPhone screen. So let's do this. Let's extract here. Okay, yeah, let's not do that. All right. Anyways, let me export this out. iPhone 14. Paste it here. Right. So as usual, we'll import this by dragging this into this place. Right. Usual links. Then let's open it. I want to name this iPhone 14 so that I will not confuse you or myself. All right, let's go to edits and let's go to scene 1. This is scene 1. Okay, nothing here. Scene 2. There should be a phone here. I think, let me just confirm. Okay, nothing, no phone in scene 1. Then there's a phone in scene 2. This is the phone in scene 2. So this is scene 2 currently. Where would our phone element 3D be? Someone should answer for me. Which layer will our element 3D phone be? Shall wait. Someone answer. Everybody sleeping. We shall wait here together.
I think the one that is iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Hmm?
I think the one that says iPhone 14 Pro Max.
Right. So if I click that and I come to effect controls, I should see it. All right, cool. I'll click scene setup and it should open element 3D. Let's wait a while. Right, cool. So as usual, it's showing red here, meaning that it's not connected. So we're going to do file relink. Then we'll add a path for it to search. So I'll just come here, click iPhone 14, select folder, located as you can see here, press OK. Then I don't even need to wait until the phone is showing. You can just press OK. And 3, 2, 1, phone. Okay. So if I should play this, this is how the phone looks like. A proper looking iPhone phone. Cool. So how do I change my image? I just come, let me grab a grab a screen, like this screen, for example. Reveal. Let me grab a screen, it's in image 1. And scale it up. Yeah. So if I come to scene 12, this is what I should get. As you can see, the phone, let me put this in third. The screenshot that we just put inside image 1 is showing up here. And yes, right, it is dragging a lot. All right. So next, let's get rid of the texts that are here because we don't need them. So text 2, text 3, bye-bye. Text 5, 2, bye-bye. I'll open this blue mark and I'll also look for more buttons, backgrounds. Let me see what. Okay, this lights. Let's increase. So like this is just this phone showing up on screen, right? So our once you've figured out which phone you're using and you relinked it and you've come to this screen here, our major task now is to control the phone, because that's the whole point of this whole thing. How do I control this phone? Now, if you look at here, animation 01, I press U, I can see keyframes. It is obvious that this animation 01, this null here is controlling something. If I adjust this, I can spin the phone as many times as I want. If I press U2 for this one up here, it seems the phone 2 is moving in a direction. So let's come back to our main task here, which is how to do this phone. So let's find out the initial animation that we have here. So this phone comes from bottom of the screen up, and then it spins, that way. So let's control our phone to do that same motion. It comes from, let me close this. Sorry, we're not hearing. I'm gonna hide this. Just give me a second. System is doing a lot of computing. All right. So let's first off get rid of these keyframes that we have here. These ones are here, because it seems we're pushing our phone to just constantly be moving in one direction. So I've gotten rid of it. So the phone is just going to spin and stay one place. Spin and stay one place. Right? So we want our phone to come from the bottom of the screen and spin and come up. So there are two keyframes here. One is when the things in front of our screen like this. So I can move this around and adjust the keyframes around. So I can allow the first screen to be down here, and then it will spin and come out this way. So secondly, I can allow this ending keyframe, instead of it to be on the side here, I can allow it to be in the middle of our screen. So let me just put it in the middle here. What else? Rotation. Instead of it to be rotated 15 degrees, I allow it to be rotated 0 degrees. So as you can see, it spins from out of the screen into the screen. Yeah, just that normal. Listen, if it was coming from here, it was filling the screen. I took it down, and before it was ending up here, so I just adjusted this keyframe to be in the middle here. Right. So now let's take this scene 2 and put it into our Binance animation here. So this starting screen, this one. So let's open begin. As you can see, we have, sorry, as you can see, we have this phone here. We're going to replace this phone with our scene 2. So I'll do reveal. This is scene 2 here. This is where this phone is. There's the phone here, this phone. And I'm going to replace it. So we would have this. I'm going to adjust it to stay here. I'm going to get rid of the phone, which was all this while just a mock-up. And let me fit this to the screen. And now we should have this animation that shows up like this. Does anybody have any questions about? Does anybody have any questions about this animation that's like this? I would wait. Does anybody have any question about this animation that's like this? I'll wait for your responses or until you answer me. Okay. I hope all this clear so far. It's not when I said that they should submit now. I will be hearing it wasn't so clear so far. All right. So there is I've done this project before, yeah. And if I should check here, begin the text, I've animated it before, and the only thing that is missing in this thing is just this phone. And if I was using this templates that I used here, that I was supposed to get from here, this one, if I was using this template, then I would have just reconnected this. So I'm going to give this source file, and the idea is for you guys to be able to take bits and pieces from the source file to create your own animation. Yeah. You should probably already know how to relink files, like this phone 12, for example. Let me see. File relinks in files. I'm going to search for this one because I've downloaded this. I've downloaded this template before and used it All right. So this is it. Let's see. That's OPG. All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Just give me a second. So I've done this project before using the other phone model. I've also explained how if we were to work with the iPhone 14 model, is a way to work with it too. But I'm going to give the source file so you guys will not need to from the beginning do the animation again. All I will need you to do is understand how this iPhone models work, how to work with them, how to change screen in them, and last but not least, how to put everything together into a single animation. So you don't need to bother about doing the what's it called? You don't need to bother about doing the text animations again. All your focus should be on how do I do the phone animation. So let me I've put in this phone 12, which is what we're going to be using. I'm going to clear out the parts that we're not using. Anyways, so if I click locate, you should be able to find. Okay, let me click add parts. Just give me a second. 9. It's all right. That's in the phone. Yes. Okay. So when I was doing my own, I made use of this folder called phone 12. Yeah, that is the one I want you guys to use. Phone 12. If you feel like you will know it very well and you would like to try out iPhone 14, cool. Yeah, but if you want to start, I would like you guys to start with phone 12. Yeah, when you open it, you should see you should be able to identify where your element 3D layer is here, and you should be able to relink the phone. You should also be able to put in inside this placeholder here. You should also be able to put in your screens, your animation. In this case, I just took a screenshot from Binance and put inside here. And later on, this pop up. That's all that is here. Let me press you. It's just a screen from Binance. Yeah, you can design it in Figma or anywhere. And this is just a pop-up that is here. You can design this one too. You can take a screenshot too, anyhow. But they are both here. So these two are inside this phone. And this phone, all it does is spin and come up, right? If you should check the keyframe, if I press U here, you can see that one controls the rotation. So this rotation on the phone is being controlled by this. And one controls the position. So if I look at this, the position was down here. And then as it changes, position increased. So the phone basically just came from down to up. At the same time, it's spinned from 185 degrees all the way to 0 degrees. So the mixture of the two is what created this, right? If I go back to my beginning composition, it should look like this. It should look like this. How to buy Bitcoin, and then the phone together with it. Click buy, blah blah blah. All of those things, they are already done for you. All you need to do now is relink the files and understand what is going on. Don't just copy it and put it on. In short, if you can bring in, like I said, Payday, or bring in another brand, it will be perfect for you. Don't just do what I've done already, because there are people that will be online that will be like, seen this already. All right. So how to buy Bitcoin is simple. How to bring in the phone is another, should be simple thing. Let me go back to the main animation screen. So this Binance first shows up on the screen. It comes down, and then how to buy Binance shows up. Click buy. The next thing that's happening is in this middle. So let's go to the middle. There's a lot of things going on here, but let me delete. So that to be straightforward. So it says select BTC, specify, review, blah blah blah. But this scene 81 is the scene that contains the element reading. So I go to scene 81, and then I'll press U. As you can see, nothing is showing up here because everything is waiting for you to relink this file. So I'll go to scene setup and relink it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Let's wait a bit. Wow. Where is it? Relinks in files. Then I'll press OK. And I'll press OK again. So, alright. So the phone has been connected, and now we get this animation. I just hope that this will not drag so much in your guys' system. But I'm guessing that because I have so many things open. So this animation where it does this and it spins round and it does this animation, yeah, has been done. If you should check the animation keyframe, this one, you will see that it comes from bottom of the screen. It goes up all the way to the top of the screen. Yeah. And then this Y value, it changes it, spins it round, and it brings it down here. Right? So those are the keyframes that make that phone behave that way. Mixing it with what you have on the animation makes it look like this. And like I said, you can put anything inside the screen. So select BTC, specify the amount. This animation is the things I put inside the screen already. And last but not least, review and confirm before you click buy. Yeah. All right, cool. And then that is for the beginning done, the middle done, and the ending, which is this one. So I'm going to need someone to direct me in doing this ending so that I'll be sure that I can leave it for you guys to do by yourself. Someone should direct me on how to do this ending part. Shall wait. I press phone 2. So everybody is sleeping. Wow. So I'm just talking to myself. Wow. The question is, how do I do this last scene? How do I guide me through or put me through how I will do this last scene? As in to get the phone back showing and all of that.
Okay, let me attempt. So we'll need to go to the templates, the composition that has the templates, and we have to pick a scene that matches what we want to achieve.
So which scene in this case?
I think if you can go.
The scene is currently here.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, can you play through?
And it's not show because there's no phone there. But
Okay. Yeah, then you open the scene. Like open
what's the name of
composition of the scene. Scene 82.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what?
I think that's the P12 media placeholder.
I should go to the P12 media episode. What will be there?
Yeah. The
What will be
phone.
there?
Okay. I think it's the design that will be there. Since it's the
Is the
placeholder.
design that will be there? The design that will be there.
Can we open that?
If I open it,
Sure.
it's just the design that will be inside it. Just this design.
Yeah. Then we can replace it with our our screen. The screen we want to have. We can
And
hide
this is
one
the
of
screen one.
this.
The screen wants to have is
Okay.
already here.
It's already there. Okay. Okay.
So, but
Then
I
we can go back to.
can't see my phone.
Yes. I think the layer is hidden.
I think the layer is hidden.
I can say that. Yeah, the two layers are hidden.
I've
Not the one you
unhid.
just unshied. The
I've
background P12 media placeholder itself, I think, is hidden.
Okay. But that's not the solution to the problem. The 3D phone is not showing.
Can we hide the background comp?
So you don't know what is making the 3D phone not to show.
I mean, it's not like I didn't know, but I must have mixed up the steps.
We'll relink.
Yeah.
Link what? What are we relinking? Adedeji Samo. Okay. All right. So see this element 3D layer. This is the layer that contains the element 3D, right? If you were to put element 3D in any layer, what you normally do is right click, new solid. After creating a new solid, then you will do control space bar and you would add element 3D. Yeah. Let me go to add element 3D into a layer, right? So because of that, if you come to a template, the element 3D layer is most likely on a single layer like this. So this layer here, element 3D layer, see it's E3D layer, is the layer that controls the phone. So all you need to do in this template is to relink. So you come to scene setup. Come to it's taking its time. You come to file, relink scene files. It will search for it according to the paths that you put here. I press OK if it has seen it, and then you press OK again. Praise, I hope you understood that. It is just it's just to click element 3D layer and relink it. Once you relink it, the phone will show. And if the phone is showing, if the animation is not the way you want, you can adjust the keyframes. But to me, the animation is already done the way I want it to be done. So this is how I want it to be done. The last scene is the phone should come from up. Spin round, show up. This last scene is the phone comes from up. So we'll go back to our After Effects and check on the phone. So the phone is going to come from up. I can check this null too. I'll press U. As you can see, the null 2 is controlling Y rotation and is rotating the phone like this. This null 1 controls the position and the rotation. So the position and the rotation is being controlled by this null 1. So if I should play with these keyframes, I can edit this thing. But you've brought in the phone and you've animated the position of the phone. Those two things. So let's leave it. Let's close this. The phone is showing now. And if I press play, the rest of the other things on the screen, apart from scene 82, is just our animation, text, get it on Google Play and Apple Play Store, logo, and all this other stuff. all this stuff, this should be very simple for you to do. So the only thing that was difficult is scene 82. And as you can see, that one too is simple. So you should have this phone screen at the end of the day, like this. So let's go back into the main animation. And if I should add the music here, and I should turn it back off, you should see, you should get so a mixture of element 3D, and all our comps are in separate layers. I will animate it. Let's say I'll say, okay, after 5 seconds, it should switch to the other one. There is no major big deal in this mixing compositions together. Yeah, you have one composition here, the beginning composition. That one is still playing underneath, but nobody can see it again because something else is on top of that. So when does it become on top of that? At 5 seconds. So if you check this middle, it comes in at 5 seconds, and then it is on top of everything that was there before, right? While you are still watching, there's a transition that goes on here that covers between middle and end. That's where you won't see that the new composition is being added in. How did I bring in this transition? This one that is here. It is with animation composer. I have like some transitions here, but you can even if you put one layer on top of each other, it doesn't stop you from being a nice animation. Do you get? But this is animation composer. I wish we had more time. I would have explained how to install it and all of that. But essentially, this is just a mixture of these phones, text going on in the background, music, and you have your finished animation. So the folder I'll give you will have this elements 3D. No, not the element 3D, the files, this class files, the phones will not be linked. So you should be able to relink the phones. Then, if possible, look into how you can change the design. So change the tension on the screen. You know where to go to change tension on the screen. You can change the design. You can design something in Figma or Photoshop. Allow it to show up here or here, anywhere you want to put it. You know, all these steps, all of them, they are all following after what is shown on the screen. So you know how to change what's shown on the screen. Any animation you put inside the screen will definitely show. So this one that's at the beginning should be a bit straightforward. In fact, all of these things you can easily manipulate them and put out a different message without destroying the whole animation. So with that being said and done, we have come to the end of today's class. Does anybody have a question for me or an issue for me? In the absence of no question, let me just render this out. All right, so that's it for today's class. Thank you all for coming, and we would see later in Discord. All right. No problem. So, welcome. All right. So I would communicate the rest of the files through